Hi, my name is Abhishek Matre. In this video, we are going to create Cosmos DB account through ARM template. So this is quite simple. I have taken this template from internet, and this template is basically provided by Mr. Mark Brown. So you can get this template. I'll give the exactly the URL of this template into video's description. We need to understand what exactly written in this big template and what is the purpose of full template. So can we start from here? The first thing is, as you know, the your ARM template schema is necessary, content version is necessary. After that, the parameters, we can come back to the parameters and the variables part. Here it is, a little later. But what we need to understand primarily is to what we are going to provision through this template. So there are three things. How can we get the idea what we are going to create? For this, you have to go, you can do this, you can go to the extensions and download this ARM template viewer extension. So this template viewer is very useful. What the template you are writing, it will give you the pictorial representation of that Azure template, ARM template. So I have already installed it. So let me this part, come back to here at the top, the Visual Studio Code. You will see an eye icon. Just click on this eye icon. It will study entire uh, ARM template and will let you know what the resources you are going to provision, how they are interconnected. So we are going to create the three different resources here through this ARM template, which is contain database account, then SQL database, and the container itself. How the arrow is working, how it knows which is connected with whom. So we'll understand this. Let me close this. Here you see, first resource we are going to create the three resources as diagram said, the image said. First one is this, second one is this, and third one is there, right? Three different resources. The first resource is the database account, right? Second is the SQL database, and the third and final is the container inside SQL database. Again, look at it. Now compare this. So database account, this is my database account. SQL database, this SQL database, and the final one is the container, and this is my container, right? So what does this arrow mean? There is a property called depends on. If you see at the bottom, we have the containers account. So this containers account is depends on my SQL. So the arrow is signifying or denoting to its dependency on SQL. Similarly, SQL database is dependent on my database account. SQL database is depends on database account. So it is depends on database account. So this diagram or this image would show you the clear cut picture what you are going to provide, which resources basically depends on whom. Let's close this. Okay, come back to the resources part. So the first resources we are going to provision is database account, and the name of this database account, we are bringing this name from the variable, and variable, as I said, we had skipped it earlier, the account name. So this will be my account name. It says the account name is coming from the parameter inside the variable, and all should be the lowercase, right? So we need to go into the parameter section and find out what is the name of account. So account name parameter has to be defined somewhere at the top. Here it is. So my account name would be for this uh, database account is SQL dash and a unique string created with the help of current resource group's ID, and this unique string method would basically create a very unique name considering source group's ID, right? what would be the exact name of this unique string is, nobody knows. The system would automatically generate, but that is damn sure this will be very, very unique throughout the globe. And the prefix is SQL dash. And similarly, other things would be used. So coming down back to my real resource, which is database account, the another parameters like kind, it's a global document DB because it is a global document database. The kind is so it works on the NoSQL format, and location would be it is again taking the in name from parameters. Location has to be has been defined somewhere in the parameters. We can go and check it again from the parameter section. Location. The location name would be it would actually inherit the same name, the same location of my new resource as of the resource group. Okay. Similarly, we have the primary reason and the secondary reason. Why the primary and secondary parameters are here? Because Cosmos DB works complete completely universal. Like you can say the replication would be instantly be available in case of the failover uh, to throughout the Azure all the regions. So we have in certain case considering that case when failover is there of the complete region. So we have defined the two different regions, primary and secondary. Although it is very, very rare when the complete region is down, right? Uh, we have consistency level here. So what are the consistency level? Ideally, we have much of consistency levels. Every consistency is its own advantages and the privileges. So eventual like rarely used, whatever the order at the end, it would work. Consistent prefix means when there is no downtime. Session maintains some session. Bounded staleness, like it maintains the two different version. If there is some latency or there is some uh, gap of returning the data, it maintains the time interval and the two different versions. Strong is very latest data you are going to get. So you can learn about the consistency levels more in detail on the official document. So we have a staleness prefix. Once the staleness is there, so you can set some certain values. These are the default values. You can say the minimum value is 10 second of a staleness window is available. Maximum it can go to this much of time and in the seconds, and default value is this. Similarly, we have the interval in seconds, how long the interval would remain, 5 seconds, and third value is 300. And so all these parameters, if you wanted to understand in deep, so you have to understand Cosmos DB and its properties, associated uh, variables and values more in detail from the documentation part. So these are all very important things before going to provision anything and through the ARM template. You must understand all that, right? Okay. Next is consistency policies you can define here, right? The location, again, it is bringing from the variable taking data from the parameter, and your count of a type is standard. The failover, as we have just understood, like primary and secondary functions were there, so automatic failover, in case it happens, then they would be activated automatically. Another reason. So next thing is SQL provision the SQL data, because this is kind of empty container. Database account, it's kind of empty container. There has to be some data associated. Some has to be one database API at least connected with your database account so that you can store the data. So in this case, it is using SQL database API, and it is dependent on the above source. You can give the name to your SQL database account name same way. And the other thing is the container. At last, container is the final you can say the resource which would be created under that originally the data would store. So the final thing is the container. The container variable, the container name is also again coming from the variable side, and having the slash. This is the account name, then slash database name, then slash container name. That is the hierarchy we have to follow, right? And the depends on, as I said, depends on clearly mentions like under which different resource it would uh, get provisioned. And inside the container, you see different resources are again provisioned. So what are these resources created inside the container is, first one is the partition key, very very important thing, because every container or every database may have one partition which would help you to segregate the similar nature of data into various virtual containers. So that is very very important. One very important point is to note here is, once your partition key is given at the time of creation of your container or database, you cannot change. As I said in my previous video where I provisioned Cosmos DB through Azure portal, I mentioned that same statement there as well. Indexing policies, the various indexing policies can be applied here. Composite can apply. Here we are applying the consistent. Exclude path and composite index. Here is the composite index property itself, where you are giving a name, uh, a path like slash name. Name is the name of your one of the key fields, and order is ascending. Here for age it is being, order is descending, likewise. So this is all about the ARM template. How can you provision this ARM template and through this the resource? So for that you have to go to the PowerShell and first log in into your Azure portal. I already did it and it is successful. After successful login, it will give me some certain details, right? So here I have to apply the command like easy group deployment git dash dash source group, and my resource group was rg dash, and the dash dash template URI, because I am absolutely on the same place where my template is created. Both are on the same. I need not pass the full path, so I can directly name of dot name of this template, and simply I can hit enter. And just to let you know, once this process would start, official documentation says Cosmos DB provisioning would take 15 minutes minimum. So once this process would start, you have to wait till 15-minute minimum, and after that I'll be back once it is done. Some So after creation of ARM template and well explanation of this template, we are going to provision this Cosmos DB template through the Azure CLI command. So the command would be, earlier I was trying to use the AZ group deployment, but as per the Microsoft suggestion, that command is now deprecated, and the new command is AZ deployment group create, and whatever your group name is, and the template file name. My template file name is cosmos.json. It is given here. I'm not giving the fully qualified path because I'm already in same path. So as soon as I hit enter, so it would start asking me certain questions as expected, because I have given certain parameters in this ARM template. Like for example, It should ask me a couple of things at runtime, which is account name, location, primary reason, secondary reason, these things, right? And I can ignore a couple of parameters because I also pass the default values here. If the default I do not pass anything, so it will accept the default value itself. So where the default value is not there, it would ask me the question for that. Like here, it is asking me to enter the primary reason. And you see, I have not given the default value here in the primary reason. That is why it is asking. Otherwise, at the time of applying this command, I can pass the parameters as well here. So my primary reason could be East US, enter, and secondary reason could be West US, enter. What else? Primary reason, secondary reason, what else? Default value is available here, default value is available here, default value is available here. So it won't ask anything else, most possibly, because everywhere default value is available. So it is running now. As I said earlier, this process is a time-taking process. Officially, Microsoft says it will take around 15 minutes to provision the Cosmos DB database, along with its internal resources. So we have to wait till then. So I'll be back after it completes. Thank you. After a successful execution of the ARM template deployment, so it has given me the long list of details, what have been provisioned, and other corresponding. So finally, if we see provision state is succeeded, it means we can assume like our Cosmos DB deployment has been succeeded. So to cross check the successful implementation, we can go to portal, and in the portal, you remember I have created Cosmos DB under the RGDB resource group. Let me click on this, and I should have another instance of the Cosmos DB because one is already there. So SQL dash, and this is the unique name we have defined for our Cosmos DB. Let me click on this. Let's see what is there inside it. So it should have one database and one container, and we are inside the Cosmos DB. Let me go to Data Explorer, and inside the Data Explorer there should be one container called My Container. It is taking a bit time. My database, you remember the name we have given to it, and here inside this My Container is successful. So that is the purpose of this demonstration, how to provision the Cosmos DB and its subordinate components or maybe the resources through ARM template without even coming to Azure portal. So thank you very much for watching this. I'll come back to you with another sort of video. Thank you.